firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome inside Arrington Ice Arena, the site of tonight's contest between the Adrian College Bulldogs and the Niagara University Purple Eagles. Bulldogs come into this game ranked as the number 5 team in the country. Purple Eagles ranked 7th. As we welcome you inside the booth, I'm Calvin Keys, joined by my roommate Dakota Schneider on the call here today. Dakota, what are you looking forward to in this one?
Really, I'm looking forward to another great matchup today. Obviously, yesterday these two teams played together. Started off really strong, neck and neck, ending the first period 1-1. But then the Purple Eagles really kind of faded away towards the end of the match. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can just bring back that same energy they started with yesterday.
Certainly. Eagles looking to bounce back after the loss they suffered against the Bulldogs last night. And Bulldogs will send it the length of the ice here, and icing waved off as Zell will come out to play. This is hacked up the wall by Robinson. Players collide, and we get a whistle. Face-off going to stay in the Niagara zone as we try to piece out what happened there in the encounter. Face-off taken between DeGiulio. Quick shot coming from Sebastian Smith. That's loose for Gajewski. He'll play it back to the point. Long ripper is wide from Brody Thornton. Sebastian Smith turned it right over, and this is worked back out the other direction by Connor Loft. It's handled by Mott. Nice move by Thornton to shake by one. Deft pass into the middle for Sebastian Smith, who couldn't handle it. Taken away by Soika, who will reset it for Schneidmiller. Handled by Thornton. Looking up ice. Chance for Cameron Armstrong, and that's gloved easily by Zell. Able to hold on here. That's his second save of the game, and a dangerous chance for Cam Armstrong here in the early goings, Dakota.
It's just really going to be about who can start off the strongest here, Calvin. Just being so evenly matched between these two teams, it's whoever's going to be able to strike first.
Bulldogs looking to do just that. The point shot from Nolan is shepherded into the corner again by Zell as the Purple Eagles look to forge up ice. Nolan back below the goal line to grab this one. He'll rim it around the wall over the stick of Armstrong. Good keep in by Jim DeMatteo. Taken here by Sam Spate, working wide for Armstrong. Has numbers with him. What a shot! Cam Armstrong, a seven-nation Army couldn't hold him back. He goes top shelf, beats Zell, and pops the water bottle. 1-0.
Just a great opportunity, just as I said, to strike first, Calvin. That's really all it's going to take today. As you can see, he's just moving right down the right side, moving right past, getting it past Zell. This might be the same exact Purple Eagles we saw at the end of yesterday's matchup. Hopefully not. I'm really looking forward to a great game today.
What a shot by Armstrong. Elevating over the glove hand of Zell, and here's another break in for Weidman trying to center. Couldn't connect with Jordan Camilla, who was pestered there in the net front. Cy Toth will keep it in on the blue line, walks in, a nice shot block, and maybe a break here. As it's Lucas Fancy, the shot is over the crossbar. Good defense by David Dell to knock him off balance. First premium chance of the night for the Purple Eagles. This one sent in, pinned to the boards is Davies. Along the near wall, Thornton is there. Sliding in, looking back across, and that's broken up. Able to lob it out is David Bunn, and then ripped right back in by Nathaniel Mott. Jamer on the forecheck, a huge hit in the far corner. Knocking over a Purple Eagle. That one will leave a mark. DeCesare able to find it in the neutral zone. His stick's lifted. This is taken by the Purple Eagles. We got an arm up in the air and a hooking penalty coming up. It's going to be a call against Tristan Talifer. 2 minutes for hooking, so just an incredible start for the Bulldogs, and they're going to get another opportunity here up a skater, Dakota.
Already such a much different game that we saw last night. During the first period, we did not get a single penalty from each one of these teams. So the fact that we're already going into here And already the difference in shots on goals. Adrian and Niagara were tied head-to-head at one point, I believe, by the end of the first period, 8 shots on goal each. So the fact that Adrian's just pulling away so far like this is just incredible.
Adrian has come out of the gates hot, that's for sure. But the Purple Eagles clear it into their zone. As we mentioned, last night was a 5-2 win here at home for the Bulldogs. Purple Eagles looking for the answer as DeGiulio will deal the puck around for Gajewski, able to hold it in. DeCesare able to slide by Connor Loft. Nolan getting it over to Sebastian Smith. Nolan, Gajewski, rink-wide feed deflected, and Bulldogs forced to regroup 40 seconds into the power play. DeGiulio lost his twig, and good work by Sanders, who will direct this one into the Bulldog bench for a stoppage. 16:27 to go in the first period. It's Cam Armstrong's goal, the difference, as he popped the water bottle here about a minute or two ago.
I'd like to point out Brody Thornton on the Adrian bench with a nice catch from that out-of-bounds puck going out.
There you go. Maybe he's got a wide receiver tryout lined up for the Adrian football team. They take on Olivet tomorrow. Schaumburger will play it in. Jamer's in on the forecheck. Slides this one back to the point for Gavin Watt. Watt up top for the power play QB and apparently wide receiver Brody Thornton as he dropped his stick. Sticks flying everywhere as DeGiulio lost his a moment ago, but Thornton finds it and takes it away. Here's Jamer into the O-zone. Resets it for Watt. Thornton at the NCAA logo. Schaumburger fires one from range. It's in. They score. Schaumburger, the shot, and somehow it makes its way in.
Absolutely, Calvin. Just great work right there. You see Watt passing it right to the middle to Thornton, getting it over to the side, and watching Schaumburger just move it around, taking his own space, and just launching it into the net.
I'll be interested to see who they credit with the goal because Justin Jamer was net front, maybe got a tip on the puck.
Possibly.
Regardless, 2 goals here in the first 4+ minutes. Can't think of a much better start if you're Coach Gary Estalos, and Bulldogs have looked great. This might be the best 5 minutes we've seen from them this season, Dakota.
Absolutely, but you have to look forward to it. We have a lot of game left, so anything could happen. Niagara is a very promising and powerful team, so they could pull anything out of their back pocket any second they choose.
Weidman tipped in front. Camilla, it's loose. Adrian swarming here. This is skated out by Gilberts. Able to work it for Soika, and the Cottonies will fight it off and then make a nice left pad save on the follow-up. Adrian gets it all the way up for Weidman. What a move, what a shot, and missed the net. Hatcher, he's crunched by Soika. They jam away at it on the near wall. Skate to stick from Nolan. Matt Cruz, the shot. Punched aside. Still it's loose on the doorstep. Zell's all over the place, and I think we got another penalty coming up against Niagara for cross-checking.
Yep, that'll be on Tyler Gilberts. Really just kind of took it to the back of Cruz there after sending it towards the net. Or pardon me, that was him hitting the back of Jordan Camilla.
Camilla took a big cross-check. I think that was obvious for everyone in the building to see. And with the Bulldogs possessing, their hard work has been able to draw them some penalties. Another shot on the power play. DeGiulio, where's the puck? It's out of play into the fishing net. We saw a power play goal a second ago from Schaumburger. May have been tipped by Jamer. Man advantage unit looking really good so far for Adrian. Nolan slid for Sebastian Smith. Good chance, missed the net. All Adrian here early. ACHA D1 hockey, number 5 Adrian, number 7 Niagara. Bulldogs looking for the sweep. They're up 2-0 right now. Nolan controlling, gets it through for Sebastian Smith. Then Nolan again. Smith. Nolan and Smith play catch, a shot through a screen. Similar situation to how the Bulldogs scored moments ago, but that time Grant Zell was able to see it, and the Orchard Park, New York native able to hold on.
Let me tell you, Calvin, Sebastian Smith was a very popular name last night. Coming into it, he almost was able to top his baseball goal from last season, doing a blind behind-the-back shot. Almost made it in, barely stopped by Zell.
So you're telling me he's been red hot this weekend?
Absolutely.
DeCesare. Gajewski. Back for DeCesare. They move it back and forth on the near side of the rink. Sebastian Smith trying to reach it, nearly got there. Showing the same hustle that he does on the tennis court. Alongside you, Dakota. Dual sport athlete here at Adrian. Sebastian Smith looking to move it over. DeJulio hit hard by Seth Coulter. Smith has it. Spun back for the captain, DeJulio, and held on to by Zell with 35 seconds left on the power play. Shots 9-2 for Adrian. Score is 2-0 in the Bulldogs' favor.
I'll tell you, Calvin, it's really surprising seeing Grant Zell having 2 goals scored on him so far already. He was very agile and very just everywhere, you could say, last night in his own goal. Just making sure he was blocking almost every single shot that came to him towards the beginning.
Slower start for Zell today. Watt. Thornton now moved over for the second goal scorer, Alex Schaumburger. Thornton will hold it in. Shot from the blue line, deflects high and into the netting. 13 seconds left on the power play as Adrian's absolutely peppered Zell so far in this contest.
Not giving him a break at all, Calvin, but that's really what they're going to have to do. Grant really is showing great promise with his rebound abilities. So being able to take and just constantly, as you put it, pepper him, just being able to keep him on his toes is what they're going to have to do.
Mott, long shot, right pad stops Zell. Sanders taken down by Hatcher. Mott looking to move this one through, but turned it over to Sanders, who goes down. And I think that's going to be our first penalty of the night for the Bulldogs, and it should be against, thought it would be Nathaniel Mott, and it will be Mott, as it's 2 minutes for holding against number 14, the sophomore from Mississauga, Ontario. It's one of those instances where Mott just turned the puck over and then got a hold of his opponent in order to make up for his mistake. Face-off is one for Cruz. This is around the wall and then held in by Quinn Schneidmiller. Back and forth. Gets it back from Callan. And that's soaked up by the Cottonies on the point shot. No rebound there.
This is the opportunity Niagara's looking for, Calvin. They're down 2. Not even 8 minutes left, or not even 8 minutes into this first period. They really need to show up right here.
One backwards for Callan. Up top, Schneidmiller for Callan, walking in, and again, that's vacuumed up by the Cottonies with Soika waiting on the doorstep. He holds on to it. That rebound control is pretty crucial to negate second chance opportunities around the net.
Absolutely. And just with the Cottonies in the net, always being, I don't think I've seen anything bounce off of him. He's always able to just absorb it.
Schneidmiller teeing up his teammate Bellinger, and that was turned aside again by the Cottonies. Dell around the wall. Jacob Callan has it hacked out by DeCesare. 40 seconds into the Purple Eagle power play. This is taken back up by Bellinger. Working wide to the right side. He'll turn backwards. Releases for Callan. You get the feeling Niagara's offense finally starting to cook here in the offensive zone.
You'll really be able to tell that, Calvin, when they're moving as fast as a bullet. This team came on yesterday just moving at lightning speeds, going wherever they could.
Schneidmiller, what a save with the blocker by the Cottonies as Charlie Bellinger was walking in, and Jamer will ice it over halfway through the penalty kill. How about that save by the Cottonies on Charlie Bellinger?
I would expect nothing less of him, to be honest.
We've seen that high level of play from him all season as Sanders driving behind the net. Up top for Loft. Handled now by Tristan Talifer. Sanders back up, loft a shot that went off his own teammate. Waiting near the net was Austin Robertson, and then Thornton will just spin one out from down low, and maybe one last rush for Niagara if they hurry. This is the captain. Connor Loft, hip checked there, but able to squeeze by is Talifer. Out of the box is Nathaniel Mott. Bulldogs kill off the penalty, and here's the captain, Matteo DiGiulio. Pickpocketed and can't pick his spot on the net. Has it back here, though. Nice toe drag, lost the handle. Taken out by Sanders, who will decide to dump it in. David Dell. Smith on the near wall. Couldn't handle. Puck also squeaks by Coulter. He'll get it from DiMatteo now, but poked it right into the hands of Smith. They say the puck came outside the zone, and Adrian goes offside to negate what would have been a grade A chance for Sebastian Smith.
You have to admit, Calvin, coming off of this penalty kill, we can all agree that Noah Ducatnes is a great goaltender, but he wasn't able to deny that penalty by himself. The defense for Adrian is just astounding. For example, Sheldon Nolan always staying on his man is what really is keeping that defense alive.
Staying tight to their mark there on the penalty kill. Leads to success, as you said. Worked in here. The shot from the left side is blocked. Cruz crunched into the end wall, and Ducatnes will save it from an acute angle as Camilla exchanges some blows with Houseman. We'll have a face-off on the far side of the Adrian zone as a hush falls over the crowd here. A little bit of more sparse attendance on this Friday afternoon contest, and many students probably still in class right now, but we're privileged to be here with you in the Braceway grandstand as we've got ACHA D1 hockey for you here. Calvin Keys alongside Dakota Schneider on Adrian College Television. Thornton able to hold it in as Camilla walking out front. What a save by Zell, who's sprawled out. Niagara needs to clear. Instead, they send it into the rafters, and the faceoff will stay in the Purple Eagle zone as Zell got up a bit gingerly, and now Hatcher will exchange pleasantries with Shepard.
Already a much different game in every single aspect here, Calvin. Crowd is a lot more scarce. Tempers are already flying much higher than they did at any point yesterday. Let's take another look at this. Just so much back and forth between both teams here. Thornton able to get a breakaway, get it over his teammate, Camilla, getting it up there, and just a mosh pit right in front of that goal. We even had a broken stick out there.
Zell just stretching out, doing whatever he could to keep the puck out, and that's what you call a desperation save right there.
But that's what it's going to take. That's the Zell that we were seeing yesterday, stretching his body to any length that it was going to take. That's how he was able to maintain a 1-to-1 at the end of the first period.
Certainly showing himself to be an athletic goaltender in these early stages. Very quick in the blue paint, as we saw on that replay. Hit there was Notzel. This has moved forwards. And again, it's the speedster, Devin Sanders, trying to get around Mott. Sanders is double teamed by Thornton and Mott, and Brody Thornton will claw this one out and use the window for the neutral zone. Whistle blows as I think maybe we saw an offside call on the play. Have to get another look at that one. DeCesare to take this draw against Gilberts at center ice. 8:43 to go in a first period that has really flown by with the pace of play. Cy Toth for Dell. This is angled in. DeCesare's down low as Sam Davies upended by DeCesare. Tripped up there. Niagara will loft this one down ice. Dell having to sidestep the official to get there. Shoots it back out to the neutral zone where it's eventually salvaged by Matt DeCesare. Notzel giving chase upon Davies. Back with it is Charlie Bellinger. Soika's pass broken up and a scramble for it. Finds its way back up again for Gilberts. The shot from the right side of the zone is wide, and that'll be a free breakout for Armstrong, who had the first goal of this hockey game. 3-on-2 for Adrian. Good defensive stick from Quinn Schneidmiller to deflect the shot of Armstrong away from the net and out of play.
You can really see the Purple Eagles kind of stepping it up now. They're desperate. They're already 2 down, not even done with the first period. Compared to yesterday, I know I've been saying that a lot, but this game at this point yesterday was on fire. It was anybody's match, and it was really just ecstatic in here, Calvin.
Cruz around the boards. Spate trying to work it out front. Lost it momentarily. Both teams battle for the biscuit. And we've got a penalty. I think it's against Niagara again for a slash.
This one will be against number 5, Quinn Schneidmiller.
And you see, heading to the bench, Cameron Armstrong are actually heading down the tunnel after he's holding that right wrist. I think he got a chop, lumberjack style, from Schneidmiller on the play. Being attended to by the trainer. Hope Armstrong's okay. Doesn't feel good. You don't have a lot of protection around your wrist, so when you take a hack there, it can do some damage. Gajewski looking to do some damage as he lays a check on Loft. Nolan to hold it in. Finds its way for Devin Sanders. Cutting into the middle, releasing a shot, and it's pinned to the chest by the Cottonies. As he makes the save, Sanders trying to get on the board on the penalty kill.
Devin Sanders really showing that speed that these Purple Eagles are really capable of, Calvin. These are both 2 very capable teams that can win the games they enter. So the fact that they're down 2 goals so far is really starting to upset them, I feel.
The saying goes that speed kills, and Devin Sanders has plenty of it. Very shifty, very talented. And he's got the puck again here. Right pad save by the Cottonies. Sanders, the leading scorer for the Purple Eagles. He's got 10 goals and 11 assists heading into this, his 14th game of the year. DeJulio is angled to the boards well, and Niagara will clear. Gajewski will leave it there for Spate. He's going to take his time behind the net as the Bulldogs get their breakout set up. Left for Thornton. Now Spate turns on the afterburners. Spate up the right wing. Quick hockey stop, and then this is played across for Schomburger. Schomburger looking out front for Jamer, and that was broken up by Loft. Chance here for Watt. Schomburger walking in. That just deflects off the shoulder of Zell. Here's Gavin Watt. Dropped for Spate. They'll interchange at the point with Thornton. Schomburger. Release for Spade again. Looking for Jamer. He skied it. Where's the puck? Oh, how did Zell keep that one out? My goodness. A pad stack in front of the pipes. And that is an otherworldly save by Grant Zell.
Grant Zell really just showing himself off, along with his defense as well. Let's take another look at it. Once we get Camillo running in there, you can see just the stock of all the defensive men in there. So many high sticks, too, just trying anything to get it out of there, but Zell really being the key factor of that save.
Wow. I don't think Zell knew where the puck was. You credit his defenseman. I couldn't see the number of the player out front, but they got a stick on the shot from Jamer out front, and that's what caused it to ramp up in the air and not head into the net. Boy.
A goaltender can do as much as he can, but it's always about his defense that's going to be there to assist him.
That's for sure. Definitely strong defensive play makes any goaltender's job easier. Sanders looking out front, trying to go across there for Houseman. Power play expired for Adrian as Coulter, a point shot that deflects up over the net. Back for the point. This is DiMatteo. Whizzes it wide. Sanders, the follow-up, shrugged off by the Cottonies. off the right side of his torso. Lobbed up in the air by Blake Weidman, but kept in by Niagara, who's finding their footing in this hockey game. Trailing by 2 with less than 5 to go in the first period. Shots 13-10 for Adrian. Goals coming from Cam Armstrong and Alex Schaumburger. Coulter bumped into by Camilla, but the Purple Eagles keep it. No, they turn it over. And Nash Hatcher, the Bulldogs' leading scorer, goes tweeners and catches up to the puck here, waiting for help to arrive. Looking back for Thornton, Zell will slide out with the right pad. Gajewski. DeGiulio turns, fires, deflected, and that nicks off the right shoulder of Zell. Houseman trying to chop it out. Thornton fakes the slap shot. What a tip that was by Smith, and Zell kept it out. We talked about how he's a dual sport athlete playing tennis here as well. I think that eye-hand coordination served him pretty well as Connor Loft, a massive hit. DeGiulio returns the favor. My goodness, how does the Metallica song go? Let the bodies hit the floor. That was insane.
That would not be Metallica, but great reference.
Not a rock fan, but my goodness. Some guys are getting rocked out there on the rink. Soika looking for it. Mott will level him. DeCesare says through for Justin Jamer. He'll drive wide. Looking backwards, shot from a hard angle. As that was Chad Notzel. Nolan the follow-up. That's waffle boarded by Zell. Battle here on the boards, a chance to catch our breaths. Sheldon Nolan, Matt Cruz opens up, uncorks one, and that's wide to Zell's left. Jamer looks back for Nolan, the grad defenseman, tipped across the face of goal. Notzel rubbed out in front, was slammed into the right post, and now we've got a tie-up on the far wall. DeCesare engaged with Schneidmiller. And the guy going to the box is going to be Sam Davies.
Very physical matchup here today, Calvin. It's like I said earlier, these are two very skilled and capable teams. And the fact that it's such a close game in some aspects are causing all these emotions to be rising. And the tempers are going to be rising just as much with them.
Wow, so is this going to even things up as Matt DeCesare goes to the box as well? Got DeCesare for the Bulldogs, Davies for the Purple Eagles, both in the box. 2-minute penalty up on the board against the visitors from Niagara, but it looks like there's another man going in for the Purple Eagles, and Quinn Schneidmiller, the other man engaged with DeCesare on the far wall, is also going to go. So I think this will remain an Adrian 5-on-4 power play. So I got the rock reference wrong. Who is it that sings that song? We'll have to do a fact check at intermission, maybe.
Off the top of my head, I can't. There's so many thoughts going through my head right now. The fact that we have 3 men in our in our penalty boxes, I can barely think of the reference. I'll get back to you on that in a second. I'm just very astonished at this whole situation. I mean, the fact that honestly, the sportsmanship level on this game is, like I've said with so many other things, the polar opposite of what we saw yesterday. There was, for example, one of our Bulldog players was on the ground hurt, and there was a Purple Eagle standing there by his side, helping him get up, making sure that he was okay. But it's the amount of fights and altercations that we've had tonight, or pardon me, this afternoon, is just incredible.
Tempers flaring here at the AIA. Teammates collide for the Bulldogs on the far side of the blue line. Schaumburger settling things down on the power play. Gives and gets back from Thornton. Brody Thornton. Gavin Watt. Spade able to handle it. Watt again. Has players driving to the net front. Instead looks back for Thornton. Schaumburger turns ahead, pulls it into his body. Releases a rocket that's seen all the way by Grant Zell and held as he gets a tap on the back from DiMatteo, applauding his save. How about that stop? Schaumburger looked like that shot had eyes as he pulled it into his body to create a new shooting lane.
Oh, it was absolutely right on target, but Zell really coming out of his shell to show us what he really can do. It's like a snail coming out to say, good morning, son. Here I am.
Well, Schaumburger's no snail out there.
No, absolutely
He's got some
not.
speed. Waiting for this face-off to take place, as looked like one of the officials was over talking to Gary Estalos. Mateo DeGiulio, Sam Spate, Dylan Gajewski, Sheldon Nolan, and Sebastian Smith, the power play group for the Bulldogs, as this will be batted out by Louis Shabbat. Centered, Spate, DeGiulio, Gajewski reclaims the puck. Sebastian Smith rink wide, and great effort sliding in was Shabbat to break that up. Nolan, Smith, Gajewski. DeGiulio had his stick lifted, now tries to fire, and it's the captain, defenseman Connor Loft, who will clear with 48 seconds left on the Bulldog power play.
That'll be a high stick call called against Adrian.
Looks like it, and that's a bad break, as this draw will head deep into their own end with $1:39 left in the first period. 47 seconds left on Adrian's power play. The number 5 ranked Bulldogs leading over the number 7 ranked Purple Eagles 2-0. Bulldogs had these games circled on their calendar after they lost at home here against Niagara last season, and that was a big upset because I believe Niagara came into that game ranked number 24. It was a wacky game, but the Purple Eagles won it nonetheless, so Bulldogs came into this one with something to prove. Everyone looking forward to this matchup after Niagara's had some notable wins this season. Most significantly, they swept Ohio a couple of weekends ago. That's a Bobcat team that split with Adrian, so this has been a pleasant surprise from Adrian and their performance against this talented Niagara team.
Absolutely, but I do think Niagara has been able to pinch it up just a little bit since we've started. Obviously, no more goals have been let up on Niagara since about 5 minutes into this first period. So we might be seeing a change up here. Maybe we will see what these Purple Eagles can do.
Face-off tied up as it's sent the length of the ice. DeCottney's is there. He'll stare down Austin Robinson. Nolan has it behind the goal. Camilla gets back from Hatcher, collided with by Robinson, and that should do it. Niagara, a nice job on the penalty kill as it's cleared down by Fancy and the waning seconds. Camilla entering the zone. Angled off. This is taken by Adam Soika. He's going to move ahead for Charlie Ballinger. He's hooked by Hatcher, and we've got a penalty coming against Nash Hatcher. Pretty clear hook there under the armpit of Charlie Bellinger with 35 seconds left in the period. Just an undisciplined penalty that you can't commit there.
Absolutely, and you could even see Hatcher just really not happy about that call, continuously slashing at his opponent, really just showing how much adrenaline and emotions are flying in this scenario. It's a high-stakes game that both of these teams really want to add to their roster of wins.
Face-off coming up on the near side. Gilberts versus DeCesare, and Matt DeCesare comes out as the superior number 15 from the face-off dot. Final 30 seconds. Niagara trying to cut the deficit here before the first intermission. They're on the power play. Callan has it. Dropped for Schneid-Miller. Tees one up, and Callan missed the mark. This is Bellinger back across. Dell will pester Callan. Forced to move it for Gilberts, who scampers away. 5 to shoot. Bellinger heads in, releases one, and DeCottney's has it with just a single tick left on the first period clock.
DeCottney's knows how important this situation is. This is where the Purple Eagles could put themselves on the scoreboard. So he's not taking any chances of letting this puck fly anywhere else besides his grasp.
We'll have another draw here. This has to be a quick face-off win and a shot. Not a lot of time. Bulldogs win it, and we'll head to the first intermission with Adrian boasting a 2-goal lead.
Absolutely. I wouldn't put it past Niagara to get a quick goal off the faceoff. The first goal scored yesterday during the match was from Niagara, right off of a faceoff, right in that corner where they just were. They got it right back to their offense and just put it right into the top right corner. So this team is capable of anything. I do like how the Purple Eagles have been able to tighten it up just a bit, like I've said. Haven't been scored on in about 15 minutes now. So it could be going back to anyone's game. I'm excited to see it, Calvin.
Certainly. The next goal in this one's going to be pretty important. Adrian leading 2-0 goals from Cam Armstrong as well as Alex Schomburger. Niagara giving some pushback. Shots are 16-13 in Adrian's favor. Purple Eagles will have a $1.26 of carryover power play time heading into the second period, looking to make this a one-goal hockey game. We'll have more action here in this top-ranked matchup between number 5 Adrian and number 7 Niagara after this intermission break. Stay with us.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena, where we're set for the second period puck drop. Calvin Keys with Dakota Schneider here as number 5 Adrian takes on number 7 Niagara in ACHA Men's Division I ice hockey. Purple Eagles looking to continue their power play into the second period with 1:26 with a man advantage remaining. They're down 2 goals. What would you like to see from this power play unit if you're Niagara?
Honestly, if you're Niagara, you want to just pull away now. You want to get that goal in, and the power play early. You want to get the goal in the net, and you want to start chipping away at this Bulldog lead. That's what's really going to take for Niagara to come back and really show what they are made of.
See what the response is heading out of the locker room for this second period from the Purple Eagles, as that one is sent wide by Charlie Ballinger and cleared out by Matt DeCesare. Slid through the legs of DeCesare, handled by Schneidmiller. Headmans it up. Now it's Tyler Gilberts. Throws down Nolan. Soika's there. Collides with Cruz. Still with it as Bellinger tried to tee up Schneidmiller, who fanned on the attempt. Soika sending one off the side of DeCottney's, loose in front. And DeCottney's will smother it with 33 seconds left on the Purple Eagle power play.
Once again, I mean, at the end of the first period and just now, he knows the importance of keeping the Purple Eagles away from getting in the net. If they can start making their comeback, they're not going to stop, Calvin.
Face-off is won. Played for Schneidmiller, then back for Callan. Soika. Callan. Schneidmiller opts not to shoot, setting up Ballinger. Strike one. Callan, patient approach here. Final seconds of this power play. Schneidmiller tipped in front. Where is it? Oh boy, how'd that one stay out? Thought for sure we were going to see the first goal of this game for Niagara. The Cottonies denies them.
Just a big scramble in front of the goal. That's how I like my eggs.
Soika. The rebound from that shot is sent wide. Di Matteo blockered away by the Cottonies. Bellinger banks it off the wall. Hatcher opening up and then turned it right over to Jacob Callan. Callan spins one across, and Gajewski, the only man there, he'll pitchfork it out as the Bulldogs are tired and will head for a change. Turning up ice with it is David Bunt. Talifer moving it out. Dell keeping it in. Gajewski looking for DeGiulio. Bunt looking to direct it out. Sets up a shot from Gajewski that I believe went off the defenseman Coulter for Niagara and then headed over the glass for a whistle.
Very hard for the Purple Eagles to see right now, coming off of that power play, not being able to score, and already the Bulldogs dominating in their territory once again.
Connor Loft has it, sidestepping Schaumburger. Loft skating behind the net, tripped up by Schaumburger, and that's going to be a penalty. I think you could make an argument it might have been a toe pick from the Purple Eagles, but Schaumburger did get his hands in with the hook, and it will be 2 minutes for hooking, and Niagara getting another chance on the power play. Would love to see a replay on that one.
I can't confidently say that Schaumburger did have a hand in that fall there. I can confidently make that statement.
It's a tough call for a referee to make because Schaumburger did make contact with his stick on the arm of the Niagara defenseman, and then he fell over right afterwards. So, you know, by your deductive reasoning, you would think it would be a hook on Schaumburger, but I didn't see a lot of contact, so I think that one could have gone either way. Sam Spate stolen on the penalty kill as he contests with Talifer. And Spate staying with it. Great effort here from number 4, the senior from Saginaw. Loft will find Devin Sanders, who's been the best Purple Eagle tonight. Boy, he gets up to speed quickly, doesn't he? Heading behind the net. Knocked away from him by Nolan. Sanders bumped into by Cruz. Slid over up top, Loft looking down. Cruz will take it. Talifer can't glove it down, and Loft will go all the way back halfway through his team's power play. Loft crosses over center, looking for options, will dump and chase. Comes together with Thornton. Both players dig away on the wall. Good penalty killing strategy here from the Bulldogs as it squirts free for Callan. Now Sanders at the blue. Callan on the right side. Sanders again. This is controlled by Talifer and then smacked out by Sam Spate. What is Adrian doing well here on this penalty kill to keep Niagara to the outside of the zone?
Well, once Niagara really gets to Adrian's territory, they're staying.
What a move. What a chance, and sent over the crossbar by Callan. That would have been something. Schneidmiller up top, sets up Callan. Schneidmiller, what a shot block. Armstrong laying his body on the line for the team as the Bulldogs kill off the penalty. As you were saying, Dakota, you were interrupted there as Callan had a great chance.
Absolutely. The thing is, Adrian is able to be exactly where they need to be, putting their bodies exactly with their man to not give any open opportunities for movement or just any extra space taken.
And the Eagles are not the only guys who are going to be purple after this game. Cam Armstrong probably going to have a shiner after that shot block.
Absolutely. Just putting himself and his body on the line for this game.
Has the first goal of this game and a tough shot block there. Schneidmiller winds, doesn't fire. Now centered, getting a shot off, and that's scooped up as it deflected off the stick of Jacob Thomason. And, you know, Niagara has the edge in shots now, 18-17. A couple of power plays, but no goals yet.
But the thing is, compared to earlier in the first period when Adrian had almost 10-shot advantage over the Purple Eagles, I mean, it's night and day. They're really starting to come back and pinch hard on the Bulldogs' offense and defense.
DeGiulio looking for Gajewski. He's bumped into by Thomason. Dell deals for Gajewski. Gajewski able to get the pass to Smith, but couldn't control, and he'll provide a press against Seth Coulter. DeGiulio working on the forecheck. Niagara able to get it forwards, but not out as Cy Toth will keep it in the O-zone. DeGiulio out front. Big goal from Bubba. They score! Sebastian Smith with the third goal of this hockey team for the Dogs.
Just a great example of the Bulldogs' teamwork here, just being able to cover it, get it right back into the danger zone. DeGiulio with a great pass over to Smith. There's a reason they call him Bubba, because Bubba is there.
Sebastian Smith with a nice goal there. First goal of this second period gives Adrian a 3-goal edge after all the momentum was swinging in Niagara's favor. Sebastian Smith with a momentum-killing goal to put the Bulldogs up by a tray.
Very interesting because, as you can see, a lot of the possession has been taken in Bulldog territory from the Eagles. So just Adrian getting that breakaway chance with how little bit of time.
Pristal now moved across, touched up by Chad Notzel, and we've got another Bulldog penalty. It's going to be a roughing penalty against Matt Cruz, the Bulldog defenseman. That after he knocked down a Niagara player below the goal line. I don't know if you saw that. Sent him hard into the boards.
Yep.
A little bit unnecessary there. And,
it's just,
you know, Bulldogs' kill has been good, but you don't want to give Niagara too many kicks at the can up a skater either.
Absolutely. I mean, the more opportunities is the more able shots that they can put on this goal.
Callan's shot was blocked. Trying to work it out, Ballinger. Puck will squirt free into neutral ice, where it is stolen by Spate. Sam Spate trying to bank it to himself, but snatched by Callan. And the Purple Eagles will look up ice, trailing by 3. Callan plastered by Spate as he moved ahead. Schneidmiller, good stick by Spate, who has been a pest on this penalty kill, and he's fired up heading to the bench. Stared down the Niagara bench as he headed off for the change. Was possessing in the O zone, and then he laid a big hit, and then after that deflected the puck out of play, doing it all.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the physicality coming into this game. That's the reason that Cruz is in the box right now, and that's the reason why Callan just got laid out to the ground.
Callan got caught in the trolley tracks. Sam Spate delivering the hit. Still a minute 15 left on this power play as it's tipped down. That time by Adam Soika, the Czech forward, trying to beat the Cottonies with the redirect, and no dice.
Just the Cottonies showing off that agility that it takes to be a goaltender.
Nolan nudges for Jamer, who will rip it the length of the ice. Grant Zell will play it. Again, it's Quinn Schneidmiller. Ballinger couldn't get by Dell. This is gloved down by DeCesare and then played in. Shots 19-18 in favor of Niagara. This is their third consecutive power play in this second period, but they've given up the only goal in the second frame. Mott trying to play it out. Still they battle here on the near boards. Mott 1v3 and having some success. Still Niagara can't get it loose. Power play time waning. Bellinger steps into the shot. That went off the butt end of DeCottony's stick. A little bit of a lucky save there, but usually goaltenders claim that they had the end of their stick there intentionally. Regardless, Bellinger nearly striking for the first time tonight for the Purple Eagles. Bulldogs return to full strength. This is Fancy. Spins it on the cycle for Soika. And now Toth trying to get it out. Massive humanity around the house. Follow-up chance. That came from Jim DiMatteo. The Cottonies the save. Here's Bunn. Camilla caresses the puck. Lifts for Weidman. Trying to find the man in the middle. DiMatteo a drive, and good job by Mott to tie up the stick of Bunn, who was looking for the rebound. Weidman will dump it in as the Bulldogs get fresh legs out on the rink. This is centered on off the leg of Bunn. Glove down here by Weidman. Slid for Nolan. Up ice for Schaumburger, who has a goal so far in this game. Zell will spin it for Tallifer. Spate. Checked by Bunn. Sends it out to the point for the defenseman Sheldon Nolan, and that's fielded by Grant Zell as he freezes the puck.
Zell hasn't seen too much action here in the second period. So much of the possession, and like I said earlier, has been at Bulldog ice that you might even be wondering if he's just getting cold over there.
Yeah, Niagara certainly knocking on the door. I think it's actually, you'll hear goaltenders say that it's more difficult when you're facing less shots. So when the puck's at the other end of the rink and then all of a sudden DeGiulio comes down, feeds Sebastian Smith for the open look, it's difficult to remain on your game when you haven't faced a shot in a while. That could be part of the reason the Bulldogs were able to score there against the run of play. Nolan, tipped by Schaumburger. Good defensive stick by Jacob Pristall, and this will set up a Niagara rush. Spinning, Callan. Spate, Schaumburger lofted. Armstrong trying to sweep it on, but it's taken by Pristall. Armstrong keeping it in. Pristall again. Robinson saucered into the middle. Thornton, athletic turn and then played in, where Zell will stop it with the paddle for Jacob Pristall. Pristall trying to get away. He is given some trouble here by Smith. DeGiulio's in there. Sanders, who we haven't seen on the ice in a second, will spin away and hit the tape of Callan. Now it's Robinson. Wedged to the wall by DeGiulio. 9:05 to go in the second period. Bulldogs lead 3-0. And what has been a more even game than the scoreline suggests. Thornton. Gajewski will throw this one on for Sebastian Smith. Has the latest goal in this game. Looking for a second as he tried to cut to the forehand, but was unsuccessful. Mott will play it back in. Loft has it. Rink wide. Schneidmiller has logged a lot of minutes on the back end for Niagara tonight. High slap shot from Schneidmiller is turned aside by Adekotnes with the blocker hand. Thornton. Off the glass. Bellinger has it. Loft. Played in. This is off the end boards and taken by Thornton. Dylan Gajewski up the near boards. Shut down by Bellinger. Schneidmiller will look back along. Adam Soika sidesteps Chad Notzel. Niagara in on the attack. Loft off the blocker of Adekotnes. Able to spot that puck through traffic. Been a while since we've had a whistle. Fast-paced play here that has still been probably in favor of Niagara, but they turn it over. Now to Cesare. What a saucer pass for Jamer. Had the feed, but no finish for Justin Jamer as we get a whistle. That was a flying saucer that settled down perfectly for Jamer.
Absolutely. And just the pace of play, like you had said, it really shows the determination of both these teams to constantly keep this puck moving. They don't want to stop. They want to keep going and going and going until one of them is on top, Calvin.
This is sent back to the point for Cy Toth. Behind the net, it's to Cesare. Both teams battle for it down low. Cy Toth for Matt to Cesare. And now this will be skated out. Good defensive work by Thomason. Sets off the shot that rang over the shoulder of Adekotnes into the glass behind the net. Jamer has it. Dell will pounce up from his defensive post to grab it. Trying to slide it back. This is angled out, and Toth will backtrack. Camilla. Hatcher. Spun on for Jordan Camilla. Ramps up in the air, trying to glove it down, but Bunn will block it aside, and now players will dig in the near corner. Free for Hatcher. The high slot and the high shot. Nolan. Camilla. 6:25 to go in the second period. Hatcher is hit from behind. We've got a delayed penalty against Niagara, and Cruz will send the shot wide. Weidman trying to scamper away as Hatcher's knocked over again. Cruz, rink wide. Nash Hatcher walking in. Sam Spate. Net empty for the Bulldogs here on the delayed penalty. It's 6-on-5. Cruz. Shot is high and out of play off the netting. And I think we've got at least one penalty against Niagara. It could be two, because there was another hit to Hatcher after the fact. We've got one for a rough and one for tripping as Weidman's stick is held on to by Coulter.
Lots of words being exchanged here between Weidman and
Seth Coulter.
And Seth Coulter, yeah, just not too happy with what each other's been saying. Might have another discussion going out there between DeCesare and Schneidmiller. Schneidmiller too.
So we'll see what comes out of this. We've already got one penalty up on the board against Coulter.
Bulldogs also starting to turn the tides against the Purple Eagles for this period, as we've seen a lot of time spent over in Bulldog Ice, but now for these past few minutes, a lot of this game has been focused right over in Grant Zell's territory, really giving him a start to warm up and really be more involved than he really has been during this period.
And we've got a second penalty up on the board. Lucas Fancy is going to go to the box. And we're going to have a 5-on-3 power play for 2 minutes. This could be somewhat of a turning point in this game. Bulldogs are already up 3. This could help them get an extra buffer on top of their lead, as they're going to have a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3 hockey.
The only word that comes to mind right now, Calvin, is detrimental. That's what this situation is to Niagara.
Sebastian Smith. Nolan walks in. DeGiulio trying to stuff it. DeCesare's there. Still they jam away, and Zell able to keep it out. And Niagara with a big clearance here early on. As you said, those 2 penalties, we had the initial call, and then they weren't able to touch the puck, took another penalty while the Bulldogs possessed. Extremely detrimental, and the most adversity you can possibly face in a hockey game, being down 2 skaters at any given time, especially for this duration. Gajewski opens up. Back for Smith. He'll walk in, deflects wide. Sebastian Smith. Dylan Gajewski tipped in front by DeCesare. Now DeGiulio from the right wall. Nolan into the middle. DeCesare will find the finish. They score.
Just an excellent opportunity for the Bulldogs to take just to expand their lead. Not good for the Purple Eagles, but the Bulldogs are going to take it nonetheless. And like you said, just great work between DeCesare and Nolan. Let's look at it here. Have an original pass from DeGiulio back to Nolan. Nolan takes it up further to the right side, passes it right over to DeCesare, and puts it right into the net. Great teamwork there from triangle formation.
Matt DeCesare, his 10th goal of the season, tied for second on the team behind Nash Hatcher, who has 11. And as you just broke it down, Dakota, that was a really nice passing play between DeGiulio and Nolan to get it in front to DeCesare. You got the feeling that goal was coming up 5-on-3, and now they've still got another 30 seconds plus 5-on-4. Schomburger. Jamer battling for it. This feels almost just like an unfortunate turn of events for Niagara. They've deserved better in this game so far, you feel?
Oh, absolutely. They're a great team, a great record so far they've made for themselves this year. Very capable, very skilled. They know what they're doing out here, but in these turn of events, you almost, like you have to say, you feel bad for them that this has happened to them.
Purple Eagles kill off the second penalty. Back to even strength after conceding a goal 5-on-3 moments ago. This is shot in front and angled way out of play with 3:43 left in the second period. You know, our scoring summary in this game is as follows. We'll take a look. Started off with Cam Armstrong at the minute 37 mark of the first period, assisted by Sam Spate and Nathaniel Mott. That was really early. Then Alex Schomburger followed it up 3 minutes later, assisted by Justin Jamer and Gavin Watt on the power play, as the Cottonies will make the save here on the point shot from Jim DiMatteo. In this second period, the scoring started off with Sebastian Smith, assisted by Matt Cruz and Dylan Gajewski, 5:57 into the period. And then about a minute ago, it was Matt DeCesare coming from Sheldon Nolan and the captain, Matteo DeGiulio.
Well, and you might even notice during the beginning of the second period, the Purple Eagles were pulling away with shots on goal, but now they're back tied up 24 each.
5-on-3 certainly helps in that department in terms of generating shots.
Oh, absolutely.
The Cottonies is going to cover up, but we're talking about a period where I think probably the first 13 or 14 minutes, you would say Niagara was the better team, generating more chances. But you credit Adrian and their goaltender, Noah DeCottonies, because they weathered the storm and then they took advantage of their opportunities they had.
Oh, entirely. And before we just had this 5-on-3 for Adrian. Adrian had taken more penalties than Niagara, for the majority of this period. So being able to have a great defense during those penalty kills really made a difference as well, whether the Purple Eagles were going to get themselves on the scoreboard or not.
Soika turning and firing, and blockering away was the Cottonies. Jamer with it now as he'll play it out. Notzel will give chase against Coulter. Coulter pestered by Notzel. They're still tied up on the ice, turning into a rugby match around the Niagara goal. Jamer will touch it off sides as Notzel wasn't able to get into the neutral zone after that scrap, as the Cesare will give a little bit of a forearm shiver to Ty Gilberts. But calmer heads prevail this time.
Yeah, just a bit as Notzel was heading off the ice, he really just gave a little bit of a slight shove to
that was more than a slight shove, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. A little bit of a sharp elbow to the side, but just once again showing how high these tempers can get when you have two such skilled teams going up against each other.
It was Coulter tangled up with Notzel, and it was one of those instances where Notzel took down Coulter, but Coulter held on to him in order to try and maybe draw a penalty, and they were engaged in a wrestling match near Grant Zell's crease for a little while there, and that's why Adrian ended up going offside, because Notzel didn't get out in time. Jamer figured it was probably safe to take the puck in, but they'd been in there for so long that, had to wait a moment longer, and we've now got 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in this second period. We've seen 4 goals. All of them have had their own redeeming qualities, but that first goal of the game from Cam Armstrong really set the tone a minute 26 seconds in.
Yeah, it's just really all about how much more the Bulldogs are going to be dominating this game. Ever since they've really started to get their possession time up in the second period, they're just right back to dominating over the Eagles.
That goal from Armstrong is one of the best we've seen this season, I would venture to say.
Just a big group of very skilled young men who are not afraid to show it off as much as they can. But like I was saying earlier, when Notzel, it was actually after the play, Notzel was going off of the ice, and he gave a little bit of a jab to Jim DiMatteo, pardon me, and really just giving him a little bit of side-eye with it as well, I thought was a bit humorous.
Face-off won by the Dogs. Armstrong will fly in as Zell will zip it around the boards, and this is now Callan, or rather Fancy, who will turn it over to Thornton. Sent off the boards. Armstrong can't reach, and Loft will look for Talifer, who will headman it on for Bunn. Fancy looking for it. That's broken up, and Armstrong the other direction. Gave it right back to Talifer here in the closing minutes of the second period. The Cottonies to handle it. Mott behind the goal. Armstrong chipped down ice. Handled by Pristal. Smith to keep it in. Good effort by Spate. His hustle has been notable so far in this game. Gajewski a shot from a tough angle. Defenseman for the Purple Eagles lost his stick as Pristal will go to grab it. Final minute here as DiGiulio will move it for Smith. Water bottle falls off the top of the net, and we'll get a whistle as a result. 53 seconds left on the clock.
Sometimes in situations like this, it takes a lot to really stop plays like this, and the fact that it came to a simple water bottle falling off of the net just shows how much these players want to keep going.
Dell moving to the near side. DiGiulio with it. Back for Toth. Smith will glove it down. Saucer down low. Gajewski giving chase as this is played up the boards, and Smith unable to keep it in. Robinson will carry it up ice. Toth colliding with Robinson. Purple Eagles have it knocked away by Smith. 23 seconds left before the second intermission. Callan will take a slash from Gajewski and now move up ice. Still Jacob Cowan meandering in. Deals it around for Sanders to apply pressure. He delivers a body check. I think we've got a puck out of play here with 8 seconds left.
Line changes coming from both teams here. Have a whole new set of skates out here on the ice.
Camilla will square off against Gilberts at the dot. Camilla wins the face-off. Cruz is there. Camilla is there, and this clock will expire with the puck in the corner. Finally worked free, but Purple Eagles can't get the shot off, and 4-0 is how things stand after 2 periods of play. What were the positives for Adrian in that second frame, Dakota?
Really being able to come back very heavy. They started off with a man down in the box, but being able to keep a strong head and a strong defense made the difference between having the Purple Eagles on the scoreboard and not.
So 4-0, how things stand between number 5 Adrian, number 7 Niagara. Bulldogs 20 minutes away from getting a weekend sweep at home. We'll see if they can complete that achievement. Still 20 more minutes to go. Stay with us as our coverage continues here on the other side of this 15-minute break on ACTV.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena, ladies and gentlemen. The number 5 ranked Adrian College Bulldogs hosting the number 7 ranked Niagara University Purple Eagles. And the Bulldogs are out on top at the moment by a score of 4-0. Welcome inside the booth, Calvin Keys, Dakota Schneider. I feel like we got some good chemistry up here in the booth. You know, we spend a lot of time together as roommates, so
I would hope so.
We get along pretty well, but it's been a fun broadcast so far, especially if you're a Bulldog hockey fan. Maybe not as much if you're a fan of the Purple Eagles, but yeah, what's stood out to you so far in this game with Adrian winning 4-0?
I really was expecting Niagara to kind of show up more than they have been. They've definitely tried to pull away, dominate a bit as they could during the beginning of that second period, but really haven't been showing their full potential during this game.
Well, let's take a moment to shout out the entirety of our ACTV crew. Obviously, myself, Calvin Keys, Dakota Schneider, and we've got some other people working behind the scenes. Alex Herman's our director, and then we've got Adrian Machalik and Gabby Broom who are working cameras for us this afternoon. All students here at Adrian College helping bring you the action here on ACTV, so thanks to them. The heroes behind the scenes who don't get enough credit and are making it possible for you to enjoy the game wherever you may be. Hope you're doing well on your Friday afternoon. Maybe watching this at work right now, and it's almost officially the weekend. It's already the weekend for us, but it's right around the corner, and Bulldogs looking to get their weekend going on the right note. Niagara trying to spoil the party as that was Devin Sanders with a shot from the left side, shooting across the net of Dichotomy's, but he was able to hold on for the whistle. DeJulio will take this draw against Sanders and win it back. Smith angled up in the air. This is batted by Sanders, trying to stay with it, and then shepherded the shot wide.
A little bit of a juggle act there, Calvin. I enjoyed seeing that one.
A little bit of puck skills. Schneidmiller in the neutral zone. Robinson off the dasher boards, and Cruz will rim this puck around for Watt. DeJulio has it as it's kept in by the Purple Eagles. Nolan battling for it here on the near wall. This is handled by Sebastian Smith. Callan will glove it down. Save made by Dichotomy's. Schneidmiller on the near boards. Taken away by Sebastian Smith, and this should be icing. And it will be. We get the whistle. Faceoff will come back in the Bulldog zone. They are unable to change at the end of a long shift, so maybe a chance for Niagara to pounce here as, you know, tired legs around the ice for the Bulldogs right now.
Absolutely. It's been a long game for both of these teams, equally trying just as hard. They want to get there. They want to get to where they need to be. And it takes a lot of work being out there with this much pressure placed on you, especially for Niagara. They haven't even gotten themselves on the scoreboard, and they're working as hard as they can to change that.
Matt Cruz for Watt, backhander off the boards, and Smith will look to smother the Niagara defense as he shoots it back in. Zell going for an adventure as he's pressured by Watt with an energetic forecheck. Dell will lift it back in on the right side of center, so no icing on the play. 18-15 to go in the third. Bulldogs lead 4-0. Goals from Cam Armstrong, Alex Schaumburger, Sebastian Smith, and Matt DeCesare. Gilberts will leave it there for Coulter. Clean breakout for the Purple Eagles, and here's DiMatteo. Toth will strip it from him. Schaumburger looking into the middle. Here's Weidman. Couldn't control. This is passed up ahead for Tristan Talifer. Weidman looking to handle the puck here. Cuts into the middle and slid in for a second. Now Hatcher has it. Looking back up top. This is Brody Thornton. Thornton at center will look to shoot the puck back in, and Coulter will handle it. Sweeps this one onwards, but only towards Jordan Camilla with a heavy collision with Sam Davies. Now Hatcher will return the favor to Davies, takes a cross check right in the numbers, and an arm up in the air. Penalty coming to Niagara as Thornton has it. This is sent high in the air, finally touched up, and Bulldogs will head back to the power play after that pretty obvious cross check.
Just a mistake that really can't be made at this point for Niagara. Really not being able to afford any more mistakes like this, just not putting themselves in a good position. As we saw last period where they went into a 5v3 with Adrian at the advantage. Detrimental was the word I was thinking of, and that's the only word I'm going to continue thinking of in this kind of situation.
Down 4, Tristan Taliford and the Purple Eagles kind of shoot themselves in the foot with another penalty call. It's 2 minutes for cross-checking. Just something after the play that doesn't need to happen. Smith shot in. DeJulio will bring the pressure against Pristal. This is cleared all the way down well by Niagara to kill some time in the Bulldog power play. Nolan trying to sidestep Sanders. Here's Gajewski up the near wall. Smith will handle it for DeCesare. Matt DeCesare winding in, lost the handle at the last second as he was bothered by Davies. Turning forward, DeJulio, top shelf. He scores!
Lots of great back and forth there, Calvin. Just something that this team is always going to show off to the fans. Just taking it right behind the goal right there is DeCesare, passing it back towards their own territory, but getting it back forward. And just having DeJulio move it right towards the center, just a few yards in front of that goal, and launching it right at Grant Zell.
Face-off coming up at center. David Dell behind the net will move this one for Cy Toth. Handled by Jamer. This is back up ahead by Gilberts. And Toth with it behind the goal line now. This is spun back towards the Cottonies, and he'll cover up here with 15:50 left in the third. Bellinger lost his stick down there, and now will go to retrieve it as we have a face-off coming up on the near side circle in the Bulldog zone. Loft up top. Gilbert smacked out front, a chance, and the Purple Eagles break the ice. It's Adam Sojka, the native of Kladno, Czechia, to make it 5-1.
It's about time, Calvin. This team has been working so hard to get themselves to this point. Even finally getting themselves on the scoreboard is a huge achievement for today after the performance they've been putting on. Just lots of back and forth, making sure to watch that wild puck as it's going into possession, out of possession, just roaming free on the ice. Keeping their eye on it is what really put that puck in the net.
That was a really nice assist by Tyler Gilberts, who went behind the back from behind the net. Hit the tape of Sojka, one-time finish, didn't give the Cottonies much time to get set. And finally, the Purple Eagles are rewarded for their hard work this afternoon. What has been an otherwise frustrating contest for them. Mott for Nash Hatcher. This one falls to Weidman, 2-on-1. Jordan Camilla, and Grant Zell says no. Shabbat looking to move this ahead. Here he is. Sends it off the end wall. Weidman off of the boards, then gloved down by Austin Robinson. Thornton is there. Plays it off the wall to himself. Played up ahead, could not be handled by Schneidmiller. Sanders has it. Devin Sanders, right wing, and shot was well high. Callan the follow-up. Falls for DeJulio, who will look for Smith, and he's defended by Robinson. Schneidmiller stepping up to make DeJulio work hard for time and space. Sanders will leave Armstrong in the dust as he speeds up the rink. The alternate captain will cut back and dodge a hip check from Gajewski. And here's Sheldon Nolan. Up ice. Dropped off. Sebastian Smith the shot, and Grant Zell the save. 14 minutes left in the game. It's 5-1 Adrian. A goal apiece for both sides so far in the first 6 minutes of the third. Coulter. Shot in off the twig of Nolan. This is Fancy. Up for Coulter, through traffic. Cruz looking for it, and he has it. Jamer up through the middle for DeCesare. Already has one goal in this game. He says he's looking for another one. Cruz down low. DeCesare tangled up with Di Matteo. A couple of Italians going to battle on the boards there. Toth dropped off, and opening up ice is Notzel. Bulldogs look to send it rink wide to DeCesare. He'll tail backwards. Finds Dell, shot through traffic. Jamer wide open net, but the puck just skipped over his stick.
That one you have to credit to the defense, Calvin, just being able to keep the goal side, the open goal side occupied while Zell was trying to go for that puck.
Yeah, and Jamer, just a poor bounce. I think he just missed it there. Puck was on edge, caroming around haphazardly, and he missed it, but had a wide open twine to shoot for. Pristal off the end boards, and DeCottney will cover it up easily with 12.5 to go in the game. Scores 5-1 Adrian. Niagara came into this game after winning both their games in Rhode Island against the University of Rhode Island a weekend ago. And last month they really exploded to get a pair of wins over top-ranked Ohio, and then split with the University of Pittsburgh, who's another pretty talented team. So this is definitely kind of a bit of a bump in the road for Niagara's season with how this game has gone, and the weekend in general.
Absolutely. A very prominent team. You're not going to get in the top 10 just by moseying your way through, but this is definitely a change of pace that the Purple Eagles and all of their supporters have seen.
Loft forces a great save from DeCottney's, who will slide over astutely to grab it. Looking ahead at the future schedule for this Niagara team, the road's not going to get any easier, as they will play against Maryville University. I believe they'll be back at home for that one. A pair of games next Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 3:30 p.m. against Maryville. This is played on by Weidman. No icing on the play. Bulldog bench petitioning for it. Nolan around the wall. This is off the boards, and Hatcher's going to reach after it, and Camilla will give chase. Trying to get there in time. Hatcher finds it, tried to go 5-hole. The follow-up. Did that go off the post?
I think it just ricocheted off. Great saves there by Grant Zell, always keeping himself in motion, an eye on the puck at all times.
Zell zips over to stop the following Hatcher one-timer. Camilla has it here. Has guys at the point. Cruz winds, fires. It is blocked by Austin Robinson. He's feeling that one, but made a nice shot block to clear the zone for his team. Callan onwards here. This is played ahead by Talifer. Hatcher. Open ice for Blake Weidman. Jacob Callan will gather some speed as he circles behind the goal, and now up for Talifer. Gets around Toth, waiting for help to arrive. Dropped off for Bund, kicked it over. Dell's on top of Fancy in front of the net. Coulter, a long shot blockered by DeCottney's. Smith trying to shoot it down. DeGiulio finally able to force his way through as he knocks it in. And this will be taken behind the goal by Coulter. Rimmed around the kick plate, chipped up through the hand of Gajewski. Toth back for it. Over for Dell, D to D. DiGiulio reaching after it. Coulter will have it now. High off the glass. He's able to play it to himself well and finally slapped aside at the last minute by Toth. Back over across. This is taken by Matteo DiGiulio. Shot in. That ricochets off the glove of Zell into the far corner. Here's Houseman. Gains center. Shoots in. Another bank, and DeCottney's going to opt to hold on, and here we go. Mott throws down a Purple Eagle. Who is that got into the fray there after the whistle?
That's going to be number 28, Jacob Thomason.
I think that's Cam Shepard who ended up getting thrown down there after the whistle went. Got in, gave a shove to Cesare. Mott grabbed him immediately and threw him down.
Very tense situation out there, Calvin.
And we don't see any penalties come out of that, which is a little bit astonishing to me. Usually that's something where the referees, to try and calm things down, will take a guy each. Mott's still getting into it with Shepard here in the corner. Look out. Houseman looking into the front. His stick was tied up, and Notzel will clear. Davies is back for it as Jamer was on the forecheck. Pristall trying to work it out, but they can't. Still Justin Jamer. Pristall hit by Cesare. Not just hit, leveled. Houseman to play it in. Mott bothered by Soikal. Jamer will loft one up for Notzel to skate onto. Chad Notzel staying with it, heads in for the shot, and stand-up style save made by Zell. Moved on from the left wing, long shot in to the near corner, coming from Soika. Thornton trying to get away from pressure behind the goal. He's tangled up, goes down to the ice, and a chance for Jacob Callan that's broken up by Cam Armstrong. And Armstrong is blasted after the puck was gone by Quinn Schneidmiller. Goodness. I think the glass is still rattling down there in the Bulldog zone.
It's really just an
Here
eye
we go,
for an
penalty
eye.
against Armstrong. Knee-on-knee collision. Armstrong going to the box, as you were saying.
It's just an eye for an eye out here, Calvin. It's just going to keep going back and forth. Take another look at this penalty right here. Just in all the mix-up, running back and forth, both teams. Bit of a collision there on the left side with Justin Jamer in there.
Slashing was the call against Cam Armstrong, so Niagara goes to another power play. Looking at the stats for this game, I know Niagara's had a multitude of power plays. This is going to be number 5.
With
0 for 4 so far on the night.
With both teams so neck and neck with shots on goal, you would think that it would be a much closer game.
Certainly, but you also have to factor in, a shot could come from anywhere. There's a difference between any old shot and one in a premium area. So maybe that plays a factor as well. But looking at the shots, definitely have to agree. Shorthanded 2-on-1. Hatcher will fire it himself, and Zell had the angle. Callan into the offensive zone, dropped for Gilberts. Schneidmiller spinning away. Now shoots one, and that's gloved by DeCottney's with 6:49 to go. A reminder, we've got more hockey for you tonight on ACTV. It's part of this doubleheader, and, we'll have, in the words of the great DJ Khaled, another one at 7 p.m. It's going to be the NCAA Division III hockey team here at Adrian. The men's team hosting their first NCHA conference game at home against the Milwaukee School of Engineering. This one blocked by Jamer. DeCesare will be there and lift it out on the backhand. Loft goes back below the goal line for it as He's troubled by Jamer. 45 seconds left on the Purple Eagle power play. Say that 5 times fast. Dell is checked here by Talifer. They battle for it. Up to the point, and Connor Loft in the middle. Broken up by Dell. Trying to find it was Talifer, but easy clearance for DeCesare to kill some more clock with the Bulldogs on the penalty kill. Hatcher knocks it away, and Sanders will be forced to go back to regain it. This is Quinn Schneidmiller, and just as quickly as Niagara cleared it, Thornton sent it right back in from whence it came. Sanders up the left wing, trying to cut to the forehand. No angle given by Mott. Armstrong's out of the penalty box, and now maybe with a chance. Angled wide, slid into the middle for Spate, who missed the puck entirely. Good hustle by the Purple Eagle defenseman Schneidmiller to get back and negate what maybe could have been a breakaway. That was some nice hustle.
Absolutely, and a great swan dive, I'd like to call it there, from Grant Zell.
He became a complete horizontal plane with that save.
Really just shows how much it takes to put on the line for these kinds of games.
He's got an unorthodox style, but he's been fun to watch.
Oh, for no doubt about that.
Mott has had his pass stolen away here by DiMatteo, but Niagara went in offside with the hesitation coming from Jim DiMatteo. His line mate, Tyler Gilberts, wasn't prepared for it, headed in before him. And with 4:49 to go, we've got a face-off just outside the Bulldog zone. This is found by Nolan. Gets it through for Camilla. Notzel will force Zell to cover up. A late whack after the whistle. Niagara doesn't like it. And we've got a throwdown. They'll mix it up. Frustration's boiling over for the Purple Eagles as Notzel took a whack at the Niagara goaltender. And the combatants involved there are Weidman and Coulter. Still they go. I don't know if the country road playing in the background really fits the vibe here. Laid on with the players going at it.
Really just trying to provide some soothing tunes to
Exactly,
everyone here in Arrington Ice Arena. Really just trying to bring it more to a mellow vibe. Everybody should be happy. Everybody should be having fun. Sportsmanship level a little bit low for this game compared to yesterday, but with tensions this high, it's hard not to expect it.
Chad Notzel's in the box, and so is Seth Coulter for Niagara. Mateo DiGiulio's talking with the ref right now. He's saying it doesn't matter what the score is, because I don't know, referees are maybe basing their decision on that. I think he's got a case. But at the same time, as you know, penalties should be called the same at any point in the game. But you've also got the factor that, when you are up by 4, you got to do some game management here because Niagara's frustrated, and that's a little bit of what we saw there.
Absolutely, but like you said, it shouldn't be called on a point-to-point basis. It should be the same thing that you're going off of every single time. There should be a line that you do not cross and that you stay at.
And DiGiulio's heated here. He's really making his case here.
Well, as captain, what he's doing, he's sticking up for his team. Just because they're up by a few points doesn't mean that they should be called on any more than they should be.
And Adrian's head coach Gary Astalos is now exchanging, some words with the referees as well. He's making his case known as well, and his opinions felt. Another Adrian player went to the penalty box. Let's see. I'm trying to spot who the Bulldog is who just went to the box. I think it's Sebastian Smith, but I'm not positive.
I wasn't able to catch the number. Music
playing over the loudspeaker, just, reminding the players that we can all just let bygones be bygones and settle things down here in the closing stages, but makes it more entertaining when there's a little bit of vinegar to the attitudes of both teams, especially with a blowout game like this. Schneidmiller tees one up for his teammate, and that's Charlie Bellinger, who makes the Bulldogs pay for that late slash to the hand of the Niagara goaltender. And Gavin Watt's going to head out of the box after that.
Coming out right out of that situation, just a great back and forth play. They're fired up. These Eagles are looking for their prey. They're swooping around and just going for it. They've got their talons out here, Calvin.
You talk about talons out, and it was Bellinger who sunk his talons into that one-time attempt, and an aerial attack elevating the puck into the top corner. And we're back to the same scoreline that we saw yesterday, 5-2 for Adrian. That was the final score yesterday. We'll see if it remains. That'd be something if we had 5-2 games on back-to-back nights. Don't see that often. DeGiulio will skate into the offensive zone and is nearly stood up by Schneidmiller. Took some contact. Sebastian Smith will walk in. DeGiulio fans on it. Gajewski kept it in. Trying to circle away. Dell up top. DeGiulio, the shot off of Zell. Held in by Dell again. Directed on by Smith. DeGiulio looking through. Toth, the shot. Friendly fire off of Gajewski. Schneidmiller will rip this one around. Dell is there to deflect the puck and keep it in the zone. Toth will go back in Adrian's own end now as Niagara will get a fire wagon change. Jamer to play it in. Sanders will hand it off to Jacob Callan. Callan's got some wheels as well. Getting around the corner, trying the wraparound. Ekotnes was there and has the post sealed for the follow-up bid as well. 2:45 to go as the shot is sent wide by Pristol. Jamer turning is hit by Pristol into the wall. Sanders will go deep for it. Spate trying to lay a hit, but just missed. And here's Callan again. Been one of the better skaters for the Purple Eagles so far in this game. It's off the stick of Mott and out of the playing surface. 2:25 to go in this one. What's important here in the late stages to maintain your 3-goal lead if you're head coach Gary Estalos and the Bulldogs?
Just making sure that your team knows they have to park the bus here and now. They cannot allow any more opportunities. They have to stand strong and stay man-to-man. If they can do that, then they're going to keep this lead and keep the second victory of the weekend.
Moved across for Loft. This is tipped. Bounces around. Ballinger using that long reach as he heads behind the goal. Looking to play it backwards and bumped into his Schneidmiller. Mott will take the aerial route out of his own end, but it's turned over here to Jordan Camilla by the Purple Eagle defense. Still Camilla. Puck bouncing. It's loose, and it's found by Gilberts. Played in by Soika. Icing wave. Ekotnes will play it for Thornton. This is Bellinger. Circles it for Gilberts. Mott, poor turnover for Bellinger, and then he was stymied by Thornton after the turnover by Mott. Loft skates in and plays it in. Thornton looking for the puck. Gajewski with it now. $1:20 left in the game. Bulldogs up 5-2. Played down by Hatcher. Then moved for Schneidmiller. He's bumped into by Hatcher and takes a late slash. Puck on the far wall. Callan below the goal line is hit by Thornton. DeGiulio held in by Coulter. And the Purple Eagles turn it over to Mateo DeGiulio, who may have some room to go to work with 50 seconds left. Tried to move it by Coulter. This is Gajewski. Back down for DiGiulio. 40 seconds left, and barring something miraculous, this would mean a weekend sweep for Adrian. Gajewski will play it out for DeCesare. Smith skates in and just plays it down low here. Coulter collides with DeCesare. Smith snatches it, looks for Nolan up top, and Zell's going to hold on with 17 seconds left, and a couple of other shoves exchanged here net front between DeCesare and Coulter as it's close to closing time here at the Arrington Ice Arena.
Really kind of a fitting theme to play towards the end of this matchup. Really just showing like everyone's come here. They've done what they've meant to do. Maybe not entirely for the Purple Eagles, but it's just that time. You got to man up, stop the bickering, and just end it here.
This is sent off the glass and sent into the middle. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here is the theme for this game in the closing seconds. 3 to go, 2-1, and that'll do it here from Arrington Ice Arena as the Bulldogs take it 5-2 over the Niagara Purple Eagles. That's back-to-back wins by that same 5-2 margin, and the number 5 ranked Adrian team downs the Eagles, who are ranked number 7 in the country. Couple of big morale-boosting wins for Adrian's ACHA D1 Hockey Club.
Absolutely. I mean, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. Niagara University is a team to not be reckoned with. They are very strong, very good-willed, and they come out here to play. The fact that the Bulldogs were able to beat them by a 5-2 margin both times, of course it's going to be a morale booster. This is a team that is well known and for being good. They're good at what they do. They've played a heck of a competition these past few days, not doing exactly what they set out to do, not doing as well as they were hoping, but still a great matchup either way.
Certainly. That'll do it for us here with this ACHA Division I contest. Your final score, Adrian 5, Niagara 2. We'll be back at 7 p.m. for NCAA Division III men's hockey as Adrian College takes on the Milwaukee School of Engineering. But for now, on behalf of our entire crew, Alex Herman, Gabby Broom, Adrian Machalik, Dakota Schneider, I'm Calvin Keys, bidding you good afternoon.
pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today.